Are you looking for an inspiring speaker for your next meeting or event? Matt Jones, through his life-changing story, inspires audiences to thrive through adversity and excel to new heights of success. On September 11th, 2002, he was diagnosed with cancer. After spreading to his brain, doctors did not think he would live. Against all odds, he recovered, relearned how to walk, and has completed marathons around the world. Here is Matt Jones.
So if you're excited about your life and your future, let me hear you make some noise. Woo! Look him in the eye and say it's great to be alive. Victory! 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 Lots of noise! Lots of noise! Victory! 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 Lots of noise! Come on! Come on! Remember, if you can see it, believe it's possible. Do it. I was 25 years old, and I was sitting on a hospital bed. I reached down to tie my shoes. I couldn't remember how. As my dad, he walked over. He knelt down, and just like when I was a boy, he tied my shoes. And I think back to that day, if only they would have been Velcro, that would have solved the whole problem. But what had happened was the cancer came back for the third time, spread to the fluid around my brain, and I slipped in this unconscious state. Now, no bright lights, no warm fuzzies, I was just out of it. 2 o'clock in the morning, into my room walked Dr. Doom. Now, the thing is, we all have these Dr. Dooms. For you, it might be one of your lovely city people. It might be... Maybe it's a mother-in-law. I don't know. Now, this is the type of person that brightens the whole room as soon as they leave. And she walked over to my bedside where my beautiful wife, girlfriend at the time, Ariella, had pulled up a chair. And Ariella's right up. Ariella, can you please stand up? She loves when I do this to her. Let's give her a big round of applause. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here today. And later she told me, she said, man, I pulled up that chair right next to your hospital bed, and I laid my head on your chest, and all I wanted was for you to know I was still there. And she gave me the greatest gift that you can give, the gift of love. And in the end, that's what it's really about, to love and to be loved. And that year, I got the most birthday cards ever. And I went to take a step, I couldn't remember how. To my right leg and picked it up and put it in front of my left, one by one, as I had to relearn how to walk. And as I laid there in my hospital bed, in my mind's eye, I got this vision of running a marathon. You see, before I could ever run that marathon, first I had to believe it was possible. First, I had to see myself doing it. So the first major strategy I want to share with you today is visualize your victory. Here we go, visualize your... All right. But I realized something. If all I did was lay there in my bed visualizing running a marathon, what had happened? Anyone ever have a New Year's resolution? Right? And so often in life we're like, well, I wish I could do this or I want to do that. But the next strategy is so important, and please repeat after me, take action. That little voice in the back of my head spoke up. Matt? Yes? What are you doing here? You know what the greatest challenge we'll ever face is? Take your index finger, point to your head. It's the limiting beliefs, the negative self-talk, the self-defeating inner dialogue. How do you change that image? The third and final strategy we're going to talk about today, and that's check your attitude. Check your attitude. A little bit after 1 o'clock, my phone rang. Hello? Matt? Yes? Matt, this is Dr. McNamara. Now, when the doctor calls you at home, not a good sign. And he said, Matt, I've got some good news and some bad. You're sicker than we thought. You have cancer. And I thought to myself, well, I sure hope the good news isn't that he switched to Geico and saved a bunch of money. 7 months later, the cancer returned. I hit the wall of life. And what do you do when you hit the wall of life? What do you do when you come up against those challenges in life? When everything, all your hopes, all your dreams, all your aspirations fall apart. As the title of my book says, when you're going through hell, you don't stop. We heard a knock. And in for the very first time walked Dr. Doom. And she walked over and she pulled up a chair. She sat down and said, Matt, the cancer's come back and it's spread to your brain. Now, because of my positive attitude, I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I'm gonna need a brain transplant. Without hesitation, you have a less than 10% chance of living to age 30. She got up and she walked out. Last October, I turned 30. Victory. The thing is, a lot of things that keep us from reaching our potential in life, doing what we want to do professionally and personally, is that four-letter word, fear. And I remember the first time I really experienced fear. It was Miss Farmer's 7th grade gym class. Because that meant going down to the deep end. And I had seen on TV the previous week that a guy had drowned in his bathtub. I jump. And on the way down, I'm like, I just hope someone knows CPR. And it's a pretty girl. And of course, buoyancy is an amazing thing. I survived, and I'm walking to my next class, and Miss Farmer runs up to me. Matt, I am so sorry. I forgot you don't know how to swim. Well, now's a good time to remember. I had gone 26 miles, and I never realized how far 0.2 miles could be. They hung this medal around my neck. And even though I finished like 16,159th, I pretended like it was the Olympic gold medal. Ariel, she ran up to me, we embraced, and she said, Matt, an 83-year-old man beat you. But I want you to know that I'm in training for a rematch. Courage is not the absence of fear, but courage is doing that thing we need or want to do. And there we go, over 120 miles an hour, free falling, 14,000 feet above the clouds. We fall through the clouds. Is after that minute free fall, they pull the chute and you pop up and you just float down for about 7 minutes. How many want to go skydiving now? But I shared that video and I shared the story because it's a great metaphor for our lives. You see, that plane represents the comfort zone. But to really experience life, you've got to step out of your comfort zone. We're coming down that final stretch, 10 yards to go. Visualize your what? 5 yards to go. Take what? 3 yards to go. Check your. And here we go. We cross the finish line all together. Victory! 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 Lots of noise! Lots of noise! Victory! 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 Lots of noise! Come on! Come on! We cross the finish line. Victory! 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 Lots of noise! Remember, if you can see it, as possible.
How about that? Give Matt a big round of applause.